forgive yourself. We go through life telling ourselves we need to forgive others and the idea of forgiveness. But it's just like you can't love someone unless you learn how to love yourself. It's the same with forgiveness. This is something that I'm going through right now. And each one of us has pain, not caused by other people. The pain of we've done things, said things that we label mistakes, and this causes us a lot of suffering. We wish that we could somehow go back and change the events, and we can't. And this causes us a lot of suffering. We torture ourselves. Sometimes hundreds of times a day over the same thing that we can't change. So I want to invite you to just forgive yourself. And I mean really forgive yourself. It sounds simple. It's really not. When you believe that you have made a choice that you question, I don't care what it's in relation to. You get to fill in the blank. I'm not going to sit here and make a video about what I need to forgive about myself. I'm currently going through the process of forgiving many things collected over this lifespan, and I believe from past lifespans. There are things that I hold that I cannot attach to an experience that I've had here now that I can recall and remember. And this is when I know that this is something that I'm processing from another lifetime. But it's there. It's in my everyday. I'm one of the worst. I'm constantly beating myself up. I've gotten a lot better over the years, but you label yourself a perfectionist, basically, and this is just a pretty term for someone who really likes to abuse themselves mentally. Nothing is ever good enough. You never do it right enough, fast enough. This mentality prevents you from embracing the now and enjoying fully this experience because you're living locked up here and you're not really loving yourself, and so you cannot give that outward until you get that right. You got to quit looking outside when you aren't feeling good. It's because there's something inside you that needs to be addressed. Do not look outside of yourself. I don't care what institutions are out there that are constructed to keep us down, or what static or negative energies that are out there. You have the power. Anytime you are looking outside of yourself for the answer to why you're not feeling good, you're giving that power away, and you're not going to be able to raise your frequency and rise above it. Start with forgiving yourself. Forgiving yourself for not being perfect. Forgiving yourself for whatever actions, things said, things not said, that you perceive as a wrongdoing or a mistake. Know that that's part of your learning. Let go of the guilt and the shame that causes you to look in the mirror every day and to not love what you see. Don't continue to suffer and therefore generate suffering for others because you're not forgiving yourself. Then you can extend that gracious energy out to your fellow brother and sister when a transgression happens, and you can find it within your knowingness. Don't take it personal. They didn't mean to really hurt me. They are hurting and therefore are going to inflict pain outward. Then true forgiveness in your heart, not in your mind, in your heart, you can feel it, can be projected outward. But you gotta start right here. Sometimes we don't even realize the amount of experiences, baggage that we're carrying that we need to forgive ourselves for. You know, part of your ego when really traumatizing things happen, hey, that wasn't my fault. Gonna stick that back here to get stored away. And my subconscious now, though, where it's gonna control the shit out of me. Those are the most destructive. Get them off the hard drive, people. Make a list. Go down that list. And sometimes forgiving yourself, it's a process. You say, I've forgiven myself, but then that issue will come back up again. It's okay. It's a process. You'll get there. I'm going through it right now. When you need to cry, you're going to cry. When you need to get angry, you're going to get angry. Awakening is not about and being this enlightened being. It's about shedding these dark layers of self so that you can get to the light being down in there. But those layers have to come off all the same. It can be a painful process. But it's also a real invigorating one. You have something to forgive yourself for. I think we all do. And if you're anything like me, you may have a list. No matter what kind of a good person you are, this isn't about you being a bad person. This is about you getting real with yourself and then forgiving yourself because you are real. And real people make mistakes. They're not mistakes. They're choices that led you to here, to evolve, to learn, to grow. So that's my message for you today. Much love to you all as you're on the journey to forgiving yourself. Namaste.